What's up, family? Welcome to Ask the Mods.
Where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This right here is my cutie pie, Iana.
I don't know how cute I'm looking right now because I'm sick and I know my face looks a mess. My eyes, everything. My nose ain't got no snot hanging out my nose on the corners.
You look beautiful, baby.
You know how that happens when you're sick? You don't even know.
You look gorgeous,
just
baby.
Boogers sitting in your nose.
You look divine. You look exquisite.
Thank you. This dun, 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 is
You look
my.
scrumptious.
I look scrumptious. You want to eat me?
I do.
Don't put that on. Don't put that on. This is my husband, Ayize. Oh my gosh. We so stupid. Don't put that on. My wonderful, cute, awesome, terrific, fantastic. This is my boo, y'all. This is my baby. I love him so much. I love you.
I love you too, baby.
All right, I'm sorry. We're taking up all this time just coming on. All right, let's get to it. We have a question that came in from a young lady who is 18 years old, and she is in a relationship with a man who is in his late 40s. Oh, wow. When I first read this, I thought he was 40. So I thought it was like a 22-year difference, and I was like, ooh. But now she say late 40s. My. And here's what she says, this 18-year-old young lady. We have a healthy relationship. She's been with him for 6 months, and she's thinking about her future and considering marriage. And she says, I have thought about his age, but I'm not into guys my age. I'm only attracted to older men. She says that her family, understandably, would not accept her marrying him because he's older. She has not told her family about him, and she loves him with all her heart. She doesn't want to break up with him. She doesn't know what to do. She wants our help. And she actually says she doesn't want to break up with him because of her family. So she's having this little war inside and wants to know what's up. What should she be doing? Sweetheart, you want to start this one or should I?
No, I'll start. Let me be
Go right
1,000% clear.
Please do.
You do not have a healthy relationship at 6 months in. You have a developing relationship
Yes.
that may eventually become a healthy one. But at 6 months in, it's very premature for you to say that you have a healthy relationship when y'all really ain't been through nothing yet. Y'all really haven't experienced, too much in a 6 month time period for you to say that it's a healthy relationship. So, back up off of that. And, I'm going to let my wife jump in there. Well, let me just speak about the age real quick. For there's a problem that I have for a man who
He's
is...
probably almost 30 years her senior.
Yeah, 30 years your senior. To be in a relationship with you, to be looking at you, to be wanting to invest emotionally, intimately with you, I have a big problem with that. And the problem that I have is that, for you to think that this guy is all of that, the question that I want to ask you is that why aren't other women his age thinking that he's all of that? It's probably because he's very immature. It's probably because, he has some issues, some self-esteem issues that leads him to look in your direction, someone who's 30 years his
Junior.
Yeah, his junior, for a relationship. So, I would, back away from this dude. And I'm going to roll with your family on this one and say, he is not the one.
I mean, talk about it from your perspective. I mean, if you are looking at someone 30 years your senior, I mean, it's.
I wouldn't even look at somebody 10 years my
I mean,
my
be
junior.
real about it. I mean, just listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, and the
from a man's
reason why I wouldn't
perspective.
do that is because I'm in a totally different space in my life.
Say that again.
I'm in a totally different space. You can't meet me where I am intellectually. You haven't experienced what I've seen or experienced. So, why would I want somebody that's 30 years younger than me? Now, he might want to feel young again, which I understand that. But to be in a relationship with where you're, trying to be married to, that's not cool. Now, it's a big difference, though, between 50 or 48, upper 40s and 18 than it is between 30 and 60. But even still, that right, I mean, that's
right.
maybe 50 and 80. I mean, that might be a little bit more palatable, but
maybe, but still, you're in totally different places in your life.
18 and upper 40s, cut it. That's not cool right there. Dude got issues. And I think that you have some issues, too, that need to be addressed, being as though you're looking in his direction. There are younger guys that you can be looking towards. They might not be 18 years old. They could be 20, 22 that are comparable in terms of, meeting your intellectual needs, meeting your emotional needs, meeting your spiritual needs, and meeting your physical needs. There's guys that are in a certain age range that can accommodate and meet that for you. You don't have to go 30 years plus to find that.
There, I'm very cognizant of the fact that as an 18-year-old, much of what we're saying may be bouncing off of you, just as what your family would say would bounce off of you, and you're thinking, but you don't understand. You don't know, you don't know the kind of relationship that we have, and I am mature. And he and I have this special connection. I understand that because I used to be 18 and I used to be a young girl. I dated people who were typically older than me. I have to say that, but maybe by a few years. I might have been a freshman dating a senior, that type of thing. And I thought I knew what I was talking about. So I know that that's where you're coming from right now. But I want to ask you, just to open up your mind and just consider what we're saying. And I'm going to reference a study that was done at New York University by a psychology professor by the name of Dr. Lynn Phillips. What she found in that study, she interviewed a whole host of young women who your age. And they were all in relationships with men very, very much older than them. And they all talked about the fact that they were in love, that they had this special connection, that they liked older men because they were more mature, that kind of thing. They could satisfy their needs and this kind of thing. They resisted any implication made to them about whether or not there was something abnormal about the situation. That someone who is looking at their senior years, getting ready to talk about retirement perhaps, someone who is looking at their grandchildren and figuring out, how to spend more time with family is actually attracted to someone who is on the brink of their life. They're just trying to figure out who they are, trying to figure out what they believe. Is there something abnormal about that? They resisted that, but then they took that same study and went to 30-something-year-olds who had been in situations very similar to those young women that they had previously interviewed. And they had been in relationships with older men, very much older. And they said that at the time, when they talked to people, they said all the time, I'm mature, he's mature, he meets my needs, younger guys just don't, they don't get me. But every single one of them said that now looking in hindsight, they realized that they were feigning sexual maturity. They were pretending, not even knowing they were pretending, that they had a certain level of insight that they did not. They realized that they were being exploited. They realized that this was a relationship that undermined the integrity of who they were. All of the women who were now in their 30s had that insight that it was almost impossible for them to have at 18. I know you may not want to hear it, but you just got here. And I am begging you to trust me when I say, and look, let me pause for a second. Me and this man, my husband, we got together younger than 18. So I don't, say, oh no, there's no possibility for you to really have found the one that you love. There's no possibility for you even to know what love is. I don't get with all of that. But I will tell you this. Anybody who's in their late 40s that's looking at you and they want to get with you, you might think you're so mature, but they got to be immature. And you are where you are. You don't know no better. That's why you wrote into us. I pray that you listen, you stop playing, and you push your way up out of that place.